Girls just want to have fun. As much fun as possible. Just because a woman says she's fun, it doesn't mean she's exciting. And even though others would see that fun as reckless, it doesn't matter. It's her fun. So my point is, let them have fun. As much fun and rope as they need and want. And just pay attention. Just pay attention. We as men have to do nothing but pay attention. That's all. Yeah, have your fun as well, obviously, Just don't get lost.
Welcome back, Challengers. It's Evil Week. That's right. We're back talking about 7 deadly sins and what we can take from each one of them. Because sometimes being good gets a little boring.
Indeed. Girls just want to have fun. But this, of course, is Replicant Fish. Welcome back. Glad you could join me again. I'm just one man on a mission, a deadly mission. And these modern women have the gall, the Steven Seagal, to think men should not pay attention and just carry on. Look for a wife in the streets. Yeah, in the streets, we don't call those women. No. We call them garden tools.
Proper garden tool.
Proper garden tools. But I hope you're doing well. Having a good week. It's nearly Christmas. Like some people care. Who cares?
No one cares.
Some people do, obviously. You read correctly. How to cheat and not get caught. Yes. Really? Yes. Really? Oh God. No more waffling. Let's just get to this. It's a long video. I'm not sure how I'm going to do it. So it's going to be random. So prepare yourself for the randomness. Let's begin.
Isn't it more fun to be bad? Isn't it more fun to be the victor than the victim? I think so. And today, we're going to talk about one of my favorite sins, greed. Not about money, not about possessions, but people. What do you do when you can't just settle for one man? You have to have many, many men.
Many, many men.
You have to have many, many men. Today, I'm going to teach you how to cheat and get away with it.
What?
But first, just want to remind you that if you want to talk to me privately one-on-one about anything evil,
Yeah, let's skip this.
here on the channel, usually we're talking about positivity, being a bad bitch, how to help other people. But like I said, sometimes that gets a little boring.
Being a bad bee, that word again.
Being a bad bitch,
This video is by Shalon Lester.
being a bad bitch,
And it's from 2019, so it's over a year old. However, the thought has carried on this year and will into next.
sometimes we have to indulge in the darker side of life, right? Because I know you guys are tired of getting manipulated. I hear it all the time. You're tired of getting cheated on. So is the answer to become the thing you fear and hate the most, a cheater?
What?
It can be. I don't subscribe to that as an overall way to live your life, because here's the thing. I have cheated on a lot of people. I have. And cheating does something to you.
Her wife got problems.
It splits you into 2 different people.
Well, it would as a woman. I'm sure it does split you many times.
Just like a woman.
It does. Cognitive dissonance is a very powerful thing. Cognitive dissonance means being a bad bitch, the surroundings, like your circumstances, reality, does not align with what you not only think about yourself, your integrity and your values, but most importantly, what you want to be happening.
In other words, it's called women being delusional and thinking they're better than they are, thinking they have more options than they do.
You're an average person.
Until they realize later on, when times run out, that, oh, no, you don't. You did then, many years ago, not now.
No one cares.
Leftover women.
Right? And it's very, very hard to be with one person and then have a side dude. And for the purposes of this video, we're going to call them mistresses, because it's very offensive that there's no like male name like misters. Like, what does that even mean?
It's called an F-boy, or a side dude like you just said, or an F-boy.
We're going to call side dudes mistresses, okay? Get on board. It's very difficult to be equally in love with both of them, right? There's going to be resentment on one side or the other, and that can be really torturous for your partner, as you guys have known from being cheated on. So let's say you don't want to be a cheater. Let's say you're starting to watch this video and you're like, I feel bad about myself. Okay. Watch anyway.
Exactly, women. Watch anyway. Pay attention. There's nothing wrong with cheating.
Being a bad bitch.
Having multiple men. Having your fun as a woman.
You have to have many, many men.
As a woman, you deserve it. Girls just want to have fun.
Many, many men.
But then you'd assume some women grow out of certain things. Yeah, you assume.
Because this is going to help you identify a cheater in your own life. Sometimes to catch a killer, we got to become a hunter ourselves. We got to like put on the cloak of evil and go inside as a mole and a spy to smoke out people and understand. Because good people don't catch bad people. Kind of bad people catch bad people.
So in other words, become what you want, become a garden tool to catch a garden tool. Same crap another day.
And sometimes that's who we got to be. So let's look at the giveaways for cheating, right? You have a shift. It's not only a shift in like schedule, it's a shift in behaviors, patterns, and most importantly, attitude. When I look back on people who've like cheated on me, because
That's not funny, but it's not surprising either. Yeah, I kind of want to escape myself. Seriously.
you know, it happens in both directions. It's not like only I was the villain. It's not like only I was the victim. I've been on both sides. When I look back, it's like the hurtful thing about cheating is not even that like they stuck their dick in someone else. It's my ex-husband said this to me, like I didn't cheat on him, we didn't cheat on each other, but like we were just talking about it. And he's like, the bad thing about cheating is that it means you have been making decisions based on a reality that didn't actually exist.
As so many women do.
You have been making decisions based on a reality that didn't actually exist.
This is why it's fun. This is why women should turn up more. Keep living the delusion.
Just like a woman.
Men like myself watch and laugh and eat popcorn. This is why I love doing these videos. Calm down, balance. But, you know, it's an observation sort of thing. Like, I like to observe women and make sure that, you know, they're not doing anything that will harm themselves. Okay, I'm talking crap. I just love doing this.
And isn't that the truth? Because you look back after being cheated on, you're like, what a fool. You feel humiliated. You feel humiliated. And even though that's probably not your partner's intent, sometimes it is though. Sometimes it is. That is the natural consequence. Because, right, sometimes people are just not great at monogamy. They're weak. They're horny. They need a shit ton of attention. They have a flaccid ego. They have poor coping mechanisms for being alone, being bored, being stressed, whatever. Many, many men.
But it sounds like a lot of women, doesn't it?
And sometimes people cheat to get your attention. So if people fall into the first category, poor coping skills, all that can be changed.
By the way, men, pay attention to the attention and the amount of times she said attention. Remember, she's speaking from a woman's point of view. Trash already, trash! The attention. Pay attention.
It can. You can work on that. You know, if you're cheating to like stick it to your partner, that's bad. You can do things that hurt me accidentally, but if you're doing things to hurt me purposely, there's no coming back from that.
But let's skip ahead now to hear some of these tips.
They will sell you out. So it's really, really important to keep your crimes on the down low. Loose lips sink ships.
Yeah, and loose lips can't keep a man either. Pay attention.
You also need to keep it quiet from your boyfriend. And I know that sounds obvious. But I get a lot of messages from you guys where it's like, my boyfriend dumped me, or we were on a break and I went to a club and made out with this guy and I feel so guilty because now we're back together.
More than made out. More than made out. If she was making out, it wasn't with his face. I'm just saying.
I tell him, I'm like, no, no. Transparency is baloney. Transparency is capitulation of control.
In other words, a lot of these women are see-through. You can see right through them. Nothing but a bunch of transparent broads. That's why they're so empty. But seriously, some women, some.
I don't tell anybody everything. Certainly not a boy that I'm dating. Are you out of your mind? Certainly not a boy that I'm dating. I didn't even tell my husband everything. I never told my husband how old I was.
Beautiful. Not this face I paused it on. Looks like she's kind of getting one, but it's like a work of art.
I didn't even tell my husband everything. I never told my husband how old I was.
It's stunning. It's just stunning.
I mean, he figured it out, but like that to me is information I don't like to share. I would rather like share my pap smear results.
What?
Oh God.
Understand, for some women, lying to you is important to keep you there so that you don't leave. Pay attention.
That's me, and that's my line in the sand, you know? And like, you have the right to have your own information stay within you. When you go out with a guy, you don't have to tell him your whole history. You don't have to tell him that like you were married or what. Many, many men.
True, a woman owes you nothing to tell you everything. She doesn't owe you her past, telling you her past. Even if she was married, she doesn't owe you that. However, 1 second, however, you know, as I've said before, because of many women's past, it makes them undateable in the future.
Proper garden tool.
Regardless of if they want to hide it or not, there are many scars that show through. especially on transparent women, see-through women, hollow, nothing inside women, nothing. Okay, all right, balance.
No one is owed access to your stories, okay? And certainly not your boyfriend.
Bullshit.
Because look, you got to level with yourself. If you go out and you slip up and you hook up with someone, I had a guy do this, a boyfriend I loved like 10 years ago.
Proper bullshit.
Men, that love is not what you see as love. It's like an infatuation feeling thing. It's not what you would describe as love per se.
Short. He left me for a stripper. But that's the thing. He's like, I slept with this girl down in Florida. And I was like, why are you telling me this? And he's like, what? I was like, when someone cheats, they're either never going to do it again or they're going to do it kind of all the time. So which of these categories you fall into? Because if you're never going to do it again, I didn't need to know about it.
Men, pay attention. That part was beautiful. Why? Do you see this man was trying to be honest with the woman? Because many men believe they should be this honest with a woman. The truth is, no, you don't. And it's for more men to understand. Some of you follow a routine that these women aren't following. Some of you are being more nice and gentlemanly than these women are being ladylike. Lots of men don't understand it though, because they assume she is as honest as he is, as you are. Yeah? Pay attention. Oh, this is beautiful.
I don't need to know what impels your personal growth within this relationship, especially if it's something that's going to hurt me, because now it's a thing. Now it's a thing in the room that we have to think about, and I'm going to like picture it and like blah, blah, blah. It becomes an unavoidable data point. But if you're going to do it all the time and you're going to leave me for her, I also didn't need to know. I didn't need to know. You could just leave and be on your way. And he's like, well, it's going to be that. I was like, great.
Now, men, for a second, think and wonder how many women have done what she just said. They've disappeared and ghosted
I didn't need to know. You could just leave and be on your way.
because of what she just said. That's why some men never have closure. There will never be closure. She found someone else, a new man to hop onto, and she did.
Thank you. You could have just dumped me. I didn't need to know that when I was texting you and saying all these things, you were sticking it into a stripper. Thanks. I shouldn't talk shit about strippers. You know I love strippers. Like I
What used to be one, seriously, that came out too quickly.
love them. But it's cliche. He was in a band. I'm just like, come on.
He was a guy in a band, you were dating him. You surprised other women like him for the same reason you liked him? Come on, Jesus Christ.
It's cliche. He was in a band. I'm just like, come on. She had like a kid she didn't have custody of. I was like, you methed out trash. She had like meth eyebrows. You know what I mean? You know them when you see them. So you got to zip the lip. If you confess once, it's going to make it way harder to keep on cheating. And girl, you probably will. You'll probably cheat. Many, many men. So the second thing you need to do is foresee the red flags that are going to pop up in terms of giving your behavior away. Now, like I said, when people cheat, there are shifts. They're on their phone a lot more. They're making like smiley faces. They're changing their passcode. Literally, if you're going to have a life of crime, you should get a second phone. And it's hard. You don't necessarily want to let them know that you are in a relationship. Like,
This is beautiful. Oh my God, I'm actually feeling something like love for the first time. Not for the woman. No. For the truth. The truth. It's beautiful, isn't it? If you've met a woman who her timing seems somewhat shifty, like you can only meet her or hook up with her at certain weird times. Exactly. That's because you're the side dude, but you don't know. Some know. Sometimes you don't know you're a side dude. Pay attention, men. And for the other side, those small moments of time when your woman disappears and you can't get in contact with her. Where is she? Where's she gone? Exactly. Two sides to every coin. Some men only one. Some men never notice these sides even exist.
if you can help it, because they can use that against you. Like people will turn on you, they'll blackmail you. There's, this shit happens. Like you don't want your mistress blowing up your life. You can do that on your own. So just be like, hey, when I'm home at night, I turn my phone off. Make it up. You're lying to one dude, lie to the other. Who cares?
Exactly my point. Exactly. Oh, this is beautiful. Oh, more.
Because you need to keep information above and below, right? You need to keep information on a need-to-know basis, not just flowing out loosey-goosey and you don't know who knows what and blah, blah, blah. So establish some parameters before you go out like into this. Also, start having some new activities and have two. Well, you're actually going to only maybe have one.
Are you listening, men? Are you listening? So if your woman, your wife, gets a new activity, I'm not saying, but just kind of wonder why.
The second one is going to be a variable activity with a loosey-goosey schedule. So this is what I mean, because scheduling is a big shift in terms of behavior. It's like she doesn't come home now, and like I don't know where she goes after school, and blah, blah, blah. So you want to sign up for like two things. Say one's like a pottery class. Okay, you're doing pottery like every day after work. Then you're going to be like, oh, I'm also doing like CrossFit, and like it's hard to get in. So sometimes the only classes are like 8 to 9. It's so annoying. And actually do that so that there's plausible, there's
Exactly my point. She's talking about creating the evidence to seem as if you are improving on whatever activities it is you're doing.
a realism to your lies. You're coming home, you're sweaty or whatever. It's like your body's changing. You can like give normal accountable details because you're actually there.
Bullshit.
Sometimes, not all the time. But again, you want to pick something that the schedule kind of shifts, but not so wildly. It's like, oh, I went to CrossFit and I spent the night. No, like if that's what you need to do, if you want to have that big of a cheat where you're full on spending the night with another dude, you're going to have to escalate those lies accordingly. You're going to
Escalating lies. Oh, this is rich. This is so rich.
have to travel for work. You're going to have to like go sleep with your sister sometimes. You're going to have to like your mysterious best friend, Perry, is like having some sort of like crisis and you have to sleep at her house 2 nights a week. Work smarter, not harder, because then it's going to give you wiggle room if he gets suspicious. Be like, babe, I know, just this class opened up. So it's like, I'm sorry, I'm going to go. I don't know why it's that big of a deal. Like it happened last week.
Proper garden tool.
Nice.
Get your boyfriend involved in things. If he's busy, he's not going to be paying as much attention to what it is you're doing, right? But, and this is truly evil. This is evil. Are you guys ready for it?
Oh God.
You got to start gaslighting him. That is the tool of a cheater. Gaslighting. And so we know what gaslighting is. If you don't, it's based on this movie in the 40s called Gaslight.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Yes. Do I need to say anything?
My coffee table just started
Thought your vag just fell out.
vibrating, and that's a little worrisome. All right, evil is here. Huh. And so this movie, and anyway, this guy like adjusts, this like shitty husband adjusts like the gas flames in the lamps to flicker, and the wife's like, these are flickering. He's like, no, they're not. Baby, maybe you're going crazy. Maybe we should commit you to institution and then I can get all of your inheritance.
Just like a woman.
Gaslighting. And so we are used to seeing gaslighting as like a guy calling you crazy, but really it is anyone who tells you that you are not observing what you are very much observing, right? So
Exactly, to make you think you're the crazy one.
I don't know why you're making such a big deal out of this. It's like it comes in a lot of forms. So try to employ it in as many different subtle and amorphous ways as you can, right? And one thing cheaters always do.
They accuse you of doing something that they're doing themselves.
Whenever someone's been cheating on me, suddenly they accuse me a lot of like things that they themselves are guilty of. Why were you talking to Garrett up in the pool for 2 hours? What were you guys doing? I'm like, we were literally doing nothing. You were at work. I don't know. That's because they're doing something bad. If your boyfriend starts to get suspicious, or even before he does, start to gaslight him. This is evil. Like, this is giving me a sick feeling in my chest because
You look like you're enjoying it though.
I don't like telling this.
Because it's the truth. You see, women aren't supposed to tell the truth. Not to you. We're not supposed to know.
I want you to use this to spot people like this in your life. I don't want you to go out and cheat on people because, like I said, it splits you into two. It's really hard on yourself. And society doesn't love a cheater. That's not a fun thing to have to admit to other people or to yourself. It isn't. Like, you don't sleep great at night being like, I've cheated on people who trusted me.
Well, that's when you actually have a conscience, you know? But for some people, ignorance is bliss.
And it's awful to be cheated on, but at least when you're cheated on, you're the victim. When you're the cheater, you're the bad guy, and not in like the fun Billie Eilish way.
And some women like being bad guys because many women like bad boys. Does that make sense? Water does seek its own level. Trash does seek other trash.
Really sucky way. So, yeah, throw your boyfriend off kilter. Where have you been? Who were you with? I don't know. Who's this chick Natalie you work with? I don't know. You're like always talking about her. Well, why? Fine, just go out with her. I don't care. then he's going to feel minimized, which is how we feel when people gaslight us. And he's going to be less likely to speak up if he sees you doing something wrong, right? So again, this is what we need to look for when we think somebody is cheating on us. Let's see, what else?
Silence, you fool!
I've made more than enough videos saying these things, but the points I've been proving recently is I'm letting women tell you themselves. It's not me saying it. No, you can disregard me saying it. You see, understand, some men can only believe when they hear it from the horse's mouth themselves.
Many, many men.
Yeah, I know that. I know and understand. But as always, pay attention. Never forget. Hear, hear, woof, woof, as men, yeah. In other words, focus, observe, remember. The world is yours. Have a nice day.